What's up, gamers? The Backseat Gamer is back with yet another SWTOR Fashion Alert for you today. Just in case you don't know, this video series is designed to keep SWTOR players aware of new affordable, grindable, and/or limited time armor sets as they're released in the game, and when, where, and how to get them. If you appreciate this kind of information, it's always helpful if you leave a like on the video, and while you're at it, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on anything in the future. And I promise I do other videos than fashion alerts, but I gotta get these time-sensitive ones done now. The armor sets and pieces that we're focusing in on today were introduced with the beginning of Galactic Season 7, The Greatest Bounty. I assume most of you know this information by now, but Galactic Seasons are the seasonal track content that SWTOR introduced a few years back. They're similar to battle passes, but don't require any purchase to participate. Very simply, each weekly reset introduces 11 objectives that award points and can be completed on a weekly basis, up to a maximum of 7 objectives per week, and a daily repeatable objective which awards 2 points. The weekly objectives range from 8 to 12 points each for subscribers and 6 to 10 points for free-to-play or preferred players, and the goal is to accumulate enough points to reach level 100 before the season ends, with each level taking 8 points to complete. There's a free-to-play rewards track that every player can earn rewards along, but there's a concurrent subscribers-only rewards track with many more items that you have to be subscribed to SWTOR to earn. Subscribers also earn 8 points a week for logging in at least 4 days between Tuesday and Monday, with free-to-play or preferred players getting 4 points for the same thing. Progress along the rewards track is shared across all of your legacy on a server, so no need to stick to one character to do everything. The weekly objectives range from killing champion-level enemies on certain planets, to specific crafting goals, to completing war zones or GSF matches, all the way to killing world bosses, and everything in between. There are also usually weekly objectives relating to the theme of the Galactic Season, with Season 7, for example, having objectives based on completing missions from the bounty hunting event. Galactic Seasons typically run for 5 months, which is a pretty decent amount of time, but because there's a weekly cap on the number of objectives you can complete, and therefore points you can earn, it will take the average player nearly that full length of time to reach level 100. And if memory serves, I think this current Galactic Season was extended to run for longer than usual, but I don't remember why. Either way, this current season is set to end on February 18th of this year, so get a move on if you're behind. As a side note, completing all the achievements associated with each season takes quite a bit longer to do than reaching level 100 on the rewards track, so there's even less wiggle room for players to complete those before the season ends. You can also purchase progress through the rewards track using cartel coins, for 100 coins per level if I remember correctly. Subscribers do earn a minimal amount of those cartel coins back at certain levels of the rewards track, but I highly recommend against trying to purchase your way through the track. I would only consider purchasing levels with cartel coins in an emergency catch-up situation. Apparently, you can also now purchase progress using credits, and each progressive level you purchase exponentially increases the cost of the next level. But I don't remember seeing this option, so if you know the numbers involved there, let us know in the comments. I personally have no problem completing all 7 of the allowed weekly objectives in one day at each weekly reset. Especially with most other players looking to do the same and being very proactive about getting the objectives done not only early in the week, but also early in the day on Tuesdays. So getting your weekly objectives done is very manageable. You're not going to be slaving away at it all week long. Now, these Galactic Seasons rewards are the main impetus for creating this Fashion Alerts video series. All of the armor pieces from these rewards tracks so far have only been available to players during the Galactic Season that introduced them and unobtainable thereafter. And there have been many pieces from those past sets that people have asked about on my outfits videos that they can't get their hands on now. So keep an eye on the fashion alerts that pop up for Galactic Seasons, because these armor pieces are the most punishing to miss. There are a lot of different items that can be earned off the rewards tracks, but as usual today we're focusing in on the armor pieces. As with previous seasons, Season 7 brings us 2 main complete armor sets, the Brynjak Leather set and the Superior Hunter set. But perhaps even more tantalizing than these sets are the extra headpieces this season offers. In keeping with the bounty hunting theme of this season, these lone headpieces have a distinct bounty hunter aesthetic to them, with the Vicious Visor and the Vengeance's Vendetta helmets looking pretty unique on their own. The Huntstalker's Visage helmet pays homage to Bausch, the diminutive Ubi's bounty hunter whose armor Princess Leia stole for use in Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi. And the Hunter's Headwrap helmet looks a bit like Dengar's toilet paper chic from Empire Strikes Back. But let's take a step back and start back at the beginning with the armor sets, which you earn one piece at a time. The first armor set, the Brynjak Leather set, you can earn in its entirety by reaching level 40 during this Galactic season. I like a few pieces of this set, but the overall look just isn't doing it for me. The helmet is pretty unique. I like the horns and the golden trim. But I'm not a big fan of helmets with this general shape. There are specific times and places for helmets of this shape, but they're few and far between in my opinion. In general, I like the chest piece here. I'm not a fan of the native red coloring of the chest piece, at least with how its color fits with the rest of the set in its original colors, but that portion can be changed with a dye module. And while I like the stitching all up and down the chest piece, the design is a little bland for my tastes. But I really like the shoulders, the little horns on the shoulders, and the scarf around the neck. And there's also nice texturing along the sleeves. The bracers are pretty good too. I love the look of the leather texturing here, but the piece is also not overly busy or distracting, so it has a nice understated look you can use to spiff up a clean looking outfit. The gloves are very basic, and they don't even seem to have updated textures. The belt is not bad. It's got a simple design with an offset buckle that stays gold when you dye it. The pants are pretty good. They're baggier than the older style of pants, and they have nice leathery straps around the knee along with nicely textured metal knee pads. It feels weird to say knee pads when they're made out of metal. Is there a different word for that? Knee guards? Knee plates? Whatever. Last up, I think the boots are really good. They have a nice leathery texture all over, which is fitting given the name of this set. And their general shape look like a nice sharp pair of Western boots. And I guess these metal portions are supposed to be some kind of space spurs. They look okay. I think these boots fit the set and the overall theme of this Galactic season pretty well. But I'm not a huge fan of how this set dyes, with the chest piece ending up a different color than most of the rest of the set when using most dyes. But any gray, brown, or black dyes look pretty good with this set. And in general, the brown parts of the outfit stay brown. Now this set is a little wonky, because if you unify the colors to the chest piece that hasn't been dyed, the bracers, gloves, and boots actually change color. They go from their nice original browns to the red of the chest piece and black from who knows where. So to keep the original look, you need to make sure these items' colors are not unified to the chest piece. This color changing behavior when unifying colors on an individual set is not typical, so I figured I'd make a note of it here. The second set is named the Superior Hunter set, and it's fully unlocked at level 95 in this Galactic season. Overall, I like this one more than the Brynjak Leather set, which shouldn't be surprising considering it's designed to be an upgrade over that. But it's the same general model with quite a few more details all over. The helmet has a similar look to the one worn by Lando in Return of the Jedi when he was disguised as one of Jabba's guards. The game already had a helmet loosely inspired by Lando's in the Red Blades helmet, but it's old and there are a lot of problems with that helmet if you're looking to recreate Lando's look. But getting back to the Superior Hunter helmet, while this one has the same general shape of the Brynjak Leather helmet that I didn't like, the added face guard and neck covering do a lot to make this helmet look better. The metal and the leather textures are both really nice, and of course the horns on the top take it to the next level. It's like Darth Maul in Lando's helmet went into a dark corner of Jabba's palace and had a baby. For the chest, its light yellowish brown fits the set much better than the dark red of the other set, and the studs and details on the chest make the chest piece much more visually interesting. Other than that, the chest piece is largely the same as the Brynjak Leather one, except the undershirt goes down quite a bit further here, and the textures are noticeably better. The bracers have a very unique, fur-lined look with the excess fur sticking out of the top. It has good textures all over, too. It's a very interesting piece that might not be very versatile, but if you find a look that it fits, it could be what really ties the whole outfit together. Now these gloves also change when you unify them to the undyed chest piece, but the gloves are the only items in this set that do that. Which maybe explains why these gloves are identical to the Brynjak Leather gloves, except for a nearly indiscernible color difference. So these gloves are nothing special, basic and with old textures. I think the belt is not bad. Once again, it has an offset buckle, but this time it's bigger and better. The pants are nearly identical to the Brynjak Leather pants, except these ones took the knee pads, knee guards, knee plates to the next level, also making them bigger and better. Lastly, the boots are also the same general model as those of the previous set, but this time featuring much more high-res textures all over, and of course the fur lining that sticks out of the top and the bottom. So I think these are pretty good, and like with the bracers, they won't fit every outfit, but they'll shine with the right outfit. This set dyes a little bit better than the last set, and once again, most of the brown areas stay brown. And also, once again, this set does extremely well with dyes featuring grays, browns, and blacks. The first of the lone helmets found on this season's rewards track that we're looking at is the Vicious Visor. I think it has a pretty cool look with a full face covering, a rebreather, and some tubes connecting to the back. And the open top of the helmet allows your character's hair to show over it, which is a nice touch. Next up is the Vengeance's Vendetta helmet. It's the same base model as the Vicious Visor, but it has an extra head wrap on top that hides your hair. And that head wrap has some tubes and things sticking out of it like some of the Sand People's armor sets. I prefer the Vicious Visor to this helmet, but this one still looks decent. Next we have the Huntstalker's Visage, which is clearly inspired by the helmet worn by Bausch, and ultimately Leia. In fact, I've already used it on a few Bausch outfits I've put together. I really like this helmet as it's paying homage to some of the looks in the original trilogy, and it has some interesting parts to it as well as good texturing. And the last helmet is the Hunter's Head Wrap, which is kind of a mix between the bounty hunter Dengar's headgear and a Sand People head wrap. And I updated my Dengar outfit with this helmet to see how it looked. I think this helmet is alright, about as good as anything modeled after toilet paper can be. You earn the Hunter's Head Wrap at level 29 of the seasonal rewards track, the Huntstalker's Visage at level 43, the Vicious Visor at 59, and Vengeance's Vendetta at level 79. So you'll have to progress pretty far to get all four. Every one of these 4 helmets fit a bounty hunter type of look very well, and I think you can use them in a lot of cool and different outfits. All of these armor pieces discussed thus far bind to your legacy once you get them, so don't worry about which character you claim them on, as you can then transfer the items to any of your other characters at any time. Unfortunately for free-to-play or preferred players, all of the armor items detailed today are on the subscribers only rewards track. Now don't quote me on this, but I believe if you complete the rewards track as a free-to-play player and then subscribe when the season is still active, you retroactively earn all of the subscribers only rewards up to your current level as well. Again, don't quote me on that. Now there may be a workaround for the Brynjak Leather armor set for free-to-play and preferred players. It looks like this can also be purchased from the Galactic Seasons seasonal rewards vendor Kiat Thavo in the supplies section of the Republic and Imperial fleets. The set costs 5 Galactic Seasons tokens, the currency unsurprisingly tied to the Galactic Seasons, which all players can obtain from various sources. You can only hold 15 of these tokens at a time though, so make sure to use them if you're getting close to the cap. I believe these items remain on the vendor after the season ends, but they definitely go away once a new season starts, so if you are planning to use this workaround to get the Brynjak Leather armor set, make sure to get it done quickly. There's also a possibility that this armor set or some of the other pieces from this season end up on the other Galactic Seasons vendor right next to them in the future, but this is yet to happen and do not count on this. So to reiterate, if you want any armor set or item from a Galactic Season, make sure to get it during the season. All of these armor pieces can be unlocked on the collections page, so I highly recommend collecting all the pieces on one character at some point to make sure you unlock it on that character. That will allow you to print infinite copies of the set or item from the character you unlocked it on, from which you can ship the pieces around to your other characters, which is a lot easier than trying to keep track of individual pieces that might have been scattered to the wind. And I believe all the pieces of a set need to be in your inventory at one time to unlock the set in collections, so once you get that final 7th piece of a set, make sure to pull every item into one character's inventory to unlock it. Those 4 lone helmets, however, are their own item in collections, so those get unlocked the second you claim them on a character. Now to clarify, as I've been using it, unlock here means having the piece or set marked as collected on an individual character, not unlocking them across your whole legacy. That requires cartel coins to do, but with the ability to claim unlimited copies of the item or set on a character who's unlocked them in collections, unlocking them for your whole legacy is a waste of valuable cartel coins. And lastly, all of these sets and pieces are visible and previewable in the Galactic Seasons subsection of the Armors category in your collections page. There might be something I forgot, but that's most everything I can think of right now in terms of explaining how to obtain and access these armor pieces. While we're discussing Galactic Seasons, these rewards tracks and the subscribers' weekly login rewards also award those Galactic Seasons tokens I briefly mentioned before. With these in hand, there are a few armor pieces you can pick up from the classic and non-seasonal rewards vendor Jalit Nal, also located in the supplies section of each faction's fleet. These include HK55's helmet and Nico Okar's duster, both of which cost 2 Galactic Seasons tokens. The duster is not very unique as far as I can tell. It's nearly identical to the TD-07A Scorpion jacket that's available for a tiny amount of credits from the adaptive gear vendor in the supplies section of the Imperial fleet, save for the jacket's coloring. But the helmet is definitely unique. Unfortunately though, the helmet leaves your chin visible, oddly enough, making it harder to use the helmet to roleplay or dress up as a full droid character. These two items bind to the player you purchase them on, so make sure you go to the vendor with the character you want the armor piece on. Lastly, these vendors' stocks rotate on a weekly basis, so if you don't see what you're looking for, check back after each weekly reset to see if it's in their inventory. But I think that about does it for the Galactic Season 7 armor sets and pieces, and how to obtain them. What do you think about all the pieces I went over today? Any items you're really excited about? Any tips for other players on completing these rewards tracks that I didn't mention here? Let us know in the comments below. Also, please take a second to like the video if you appreciate this kind of information and want to see more of these fashion alerts. Lastly, subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date on these fashion alerts, my outfits videos, or other SWTOR content. And remember that the true greatest bounties are the friends we made along the way. Just kidding, it's the limited time armor sets. And I'll catch you on the next one.